Oh, hey, everybody. We're starting a strength and conditioning cycle for Truck Room 18 today, May 23rd. You can use the cycle whenever you want to, but B Shift will be starting it today. I wanted to talk about some of the basics, just show you what the plan is for the next 10 weeks. Let's talk very briefly about the strength portion first. Our strength training cycle is periodized. Periodization is just breaking down a training plan into blocks, with each block having a specific goal. For example, in this cycle, we will have two hypertrophy blocks. The goal of hypertrophy training is to increase muscle size, and that is best achieved with sets ranging anywhere from 6 reps all the way to 20 plus reps. After the two hypertrophy blocks, we'll move on to a strength block, sets of 6 or less, best developed strength, and finally to a power block. Sets of 1 to 3 reps are best for developing power or peak strength. And the whole idea with periodization is to hold on to the gains you make in one block as you move through the subsequent blocks. The cycle is set up for you to keep your muscle growth as you move from hypertrophy to strength, and to keep your strength gains as you move into the power block. Let's take a quick look at the strength portion. With squats, deadlifts, and bench press, we will move from 15s to 10s, working on hypertrophy. The 15s will give our joints a little bit of a break, but still put us in a good range for muscle growth. Then we will move into the 10s, also focused on hypertrophy, followed by the 6s, focusing on strength, and the 3s, focusing on power, then into a 1 rep max. It's obviously not required, but I would encourage you to look at this cycle and plan your work. Figure out what you would like to hit for a 1 rep max in bench and back squat in August at the end of the cycle, then work backward. Figure out ahead of time what numbers you would like to hit for each session. Try to hit a heavier top set each session all the way through. This means the first day of 15s, you leave 2 to 3 reps in reserve. The second day of 15s, add a little weight. Then the third day of 15s, hit a max set of 15. Then the same for the 10s. Leave a couple reps in reserve on day 1. Add some weight for day 2 of the 10s. Then the third day of the 10s, hit a max set of 10. Keep that going for the 6s and for the 3s, adding weight to the bar for the entire cycle. There will be drop sets this cycle. In the context of Truck Room, I mean that you'll hit 90% of your top weight for set 1, then hit your top weight for the day on set 2, then drop back down to 90% of your top weight for the remaining sets. Here are 2 hypothetical progressions for 4 sets of 10 reps. For both A and B, the goal is a max set of 10 reps at 225 pounds. A is a more standard progression of adding weight until you hit your top set. For the standard progression, you are nowhere near failure for the first 2 sets. There's nothing wrong with this progression. We use it all the time in Truck Room. B is using drop sets. I like the drop set structure for 3 reasons. Number 1, you are lifting more total weight. Number 2, you are closer to failure on more sets. 3 reps in reserve and fewer is an excellent goal for working sets, especially for hypertrophy. And number 3, you are better rested when attempting your top set. For shoulders and back, we will not venture too far into power or peaking strength. We are not maxing out any rows or shoulder presses, and we will focus on hypertrophy and strength, getting a good dose of volume with rock-solid technique for our back and shoulders. For the conditioning portion of the workouts, our goal remains the same. We are focused mainly on anaerobic endurance and maximizing our capacity to put our foot on the gas pedal for at least 1 SCBA bottle. We at times have to perform at maximal effort under fatigued conditions. That is a part of our job, and we have to be prepared for that. In Truck Room 18, we don't necessarily try to mimic the movements we do on the fire ground, but we are trying to program conditioning that will mimic the metabolic demands of the fire ground. We also want to keep the exercises fairly straightforward with the equipment available at your fire station. So let's work hard and have a healthy training cycle. Plan your work your plan, be intentional in the weight room, and move with purpose. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.